My name's Evan Alsadin. I'm the Vice President of Innovation at Full Swing. So TGL is really a validation of what we've done as a business, being the tech leaders in kind of indoor golf. For our company, it's really a testament of all the hard work we've done, the innovation that we've done to be trusted and relied upon by the best in the sport. Guys will warm up here pre-match. Each player will kind of walk up here, hit for 30 to an hour, warm up, loosen up before their team's gonna travel over to the main facility and get going. So a lot more polishing to do to get these things finished up, but the Cortex installed, which is great. Right now, what you're seeing here is, you've got a hole that's loaded up here on screen. We're using 9 projectors that are suspended from a truss, and those 9 images stack on top of each other to make this ultra bright image. But you can see, so something that we built, which is called the digital caddy, they've got that actually here on the screen. So this is an interface that the players will be using when we get over to the player box over here. But they use that to kind of strategize and get to see the distances to hole. So there's the 9 projectors suspended from the truss. Come around here, check this out. We've got, I want to say, 18 launch monitors for every shot. We've got 3 down here in this pit, 3 on the other side. And then we've got these kind of 2 different radar fixtures here. We'll get up and close to those to kind of show you what that looks like. There's a dedicated set for right-handed golfers, a dedicated set for left-handed golfers, and then we have extra units for redundancy to make sure we don't miss anything. And what's really interesting is, in terms of like which area do you play from, the game knows, okay, a player hit, are they now hitting from the sand, fairway, rough? And so the game sends coordinates back and basically says, hey, you're hitting from, box 1, 2, 3. And this is real, like real grass. They bring in a brand new plot of grass. Full Swing's a part of the full technology stack. I mean, outside of just shot tracking, there's so much more that has to be done. The game. So we built the game. They kind of rough out the strategy, like what they want it to be on paper, and we make it 3-dimensional to make it come to life and play strategically as they wanted it to. So we're capturing initial launch conditions, things like spin rate, things like club speed. And then we also work in conjunction with Top Tracer on the ball flight characterization. That creates what you call a 3D point cloud, which is basically how the ball travels in space. We take that input, visualize it in this game. These launch monitors predominantly are used outdoor for full flight tracking. We're learning a lot about indoor tracking. So our algorithmic understanding of how do we improve to mimic what that ball would have done outdoors, indoors, is just getting that much better. And with 18 of these things being live, they basically talk to each other. So we're bringing kind of a more robust processing power to the unit that, again, we can learn from and try to bring back to our core consumer product as well. And the product is working well for all the test matches that we've done. So today we're doing kind of a test match with a team in the format that they're going to be playing, with the rules that they're going to be playing with. So it'll be interesting to see kind of how the players respond to all that, because it's new for them too, right? It's new for everybody. It's pretty amazing. Anytime you start out writing words on paper for months and months, and you've got no clue if you can even pull it off. To see this coming to life now it's pretty sweet. You probably walk over and check out the digital caddy if you guys want to see that. So you've got kind of the team name that'll pop up, and then this is, the look of your next shot. This tells you, shows you exactly what will appear on the projector when it's your turn to hit. If you move this thing left, right, you can kind of see, how far it would be if I went there. If you go to the green view, green data, we now overlay kind of the slope of this configuration, which is really cool. So as the players are approaching, they'll know exactly what the green's doing. So when they're hitting into the game, they know exactly where they want to land the ball. But this really was born out of what we kind of do today on sim. On the simulator, you've got your, where the game says you should hit. But if you're trying to hit a different shot, you can use your finger again to kind of move and say, I want to aim in this direction. and the image will shift to that direction. We basically took that and put it on steroids for what they're doing here. And you'll see also on here, now this new hole, right? This is like the beginning of a new shot. You'll see the back tee box, B, F is for front. You know that you're hitting from the middle because it's filled in blue. If you're hitting from the sand, it would say back, and then the left tee box would be highlighted. This is the screen zone, and that's the green zone. So the green zone, which is powered by our virtual green tech here on the green. But before we even get there, we have a spotlight that shows you exactly where the ball should be placed in the real world based on the virtual game coordinates. And that's brand new. So that's something brand new that we developed. But the communication to say, hey, game, that ball should be, placed there, that's another kind of communication layer that we had to develop. Each hole that we also developed in game has a specific rotation of this turntable that the game sends coordinates to. And then our virtual green, it basically says it needs to undulate and break this much. So we send two commands. How far should the table rotate? 180 degrees either way. And then what should the topography look like? That's all coming from the game, sending to this. And you'll see the turntable right now moving, actually. We're the only ones that can do it. For all of the 600 jacks that we have, they all have their own independent power supply. We also developed this kind of, through what you call a PLC controller. That's the thing that takes the message from the game and digitizes the table. So that controller takes the message and says, hey, rotate 127 degrees, and we're within inches of what the table's actually doing, which is pretty impressive when you see how big it is. This surface material, that was a big innovation led by TGL. Our virtual green, another thing we kind of learned was our putting green was made for putting. These guys can chip anywhere from 30 to 40 yards off the green. So the bounce and roll characteristics of this surface material played into the qualification of that top layer. Like, what are we going to use? I think they went with Sinmon as the partner to do it. Underneath is all of our tech, obviously, but the player feedback apparently has been 10 out of 10 on this. We've got 3 sets of jacks underneath this top layer. In between our jacks, they have foam. Yeah, this whole table can turn 180 degrees either way, so 360 degrees in total. And then underneath this platform where the virtual green tech is laid out, they actually created 3 different tiers to make even greater slope potential. So you're kind of seeing this slope here, that's the highest tier. And our jacks are on top of that. So if our jacks go up, that makes this tier more severe. And if these jacks go up and those down, it makes it a little bit less severe. But we created 30 landscapes, so 30 different combinations of, how this thing undulates. And then each hole has a embedded where the pin should be. So when the thing rotates, the green undulates, an official will know exactly which pin placement to use for that hole. So endless possibilities when you really think about making it feel unique and different, hole to hole. Technology allows you to create holes that wouldn't be plausible or really efficient in the outdoor world. So, do you want to go, to a path left, right, center, you name it, that's the benefit of having a tech-infused golf league. It allows you for more possibilities, because if you just design courses as they are today, it kind of begs the question, why do a tech-infused golf league if you're not celebrating what tech can do? So there's some really interesting course designs that lend itself to, being tech-infused and wouldn't really make too much sense in kind of the traditional outdoor golf space today. What we're doing here is akin to what Formula One does in terms of their supercars. They're trying things out, optimizing, and then trying to figure out how can you maybe cost optimize or bring that idea to the consumer. So what we've done here is a good example of that is, bringing our virtual green tech that's almost 12 times the size of our consumer product today, really stressing to say how big can we go and really extend our brand beyond kind of what is possible today. We're extremely proud of where TGL is and our role in it. The challenge that we took without knowing if we could do any of this stuff, and to see something that you wrote on paper come to life in this magnitude, it's what you live for. It's what I live for. It's legacy. It's a validation of our business and everything that we've done and the people that work here, it's everything for us. So regardless of how well it does, and I'll be the first one to hope it does extremely well, I'm so proud of everybody in the company that's behind this because it's going to be really special.